Believe it or not, your relationships affect your money. And you know what your relationships might just need? A little TLC. And I'm not talking about chasing any waterfalls. Oh, relationships. We've all got them. Whether it's your spouse, family, coworkers, friends, you're dealing with different people every day. But today we're going to talk about those relationships and how they can impact your money. So in this episode, we have my friend and best-selling author, Dr. Henry Cloud, to talk about relationships and boundaries and how important they are, especially during the holidays. And then later, I've got a brand new game test out on one couple to see how well they communicate to each other about money. But before we do that, let's dive in and talk about what is and what isn't communicating well about money. And it just so happens that my favorite show of all time is Friends. And well, this TV show has a lot of great examples about money miscommunication. So let's learn from our friends on how to avoid misunderstandings with people in our life about money. Family. Not good communication. Spending your daughter's wedding fund on your beach house and not telling her until months before the wedding. Do you remember when Monica's parents did that? Yes. What would have been good communication is if Monica's parents, if they couldn't come up with the money to fund the beach house, and they should have given her plenty of notice so that she wasn't in a bind relying on that money. She needed time to save for herself for her wedding. Friends. Not good communication. Do you remember when Chandler goes all out for Ross's birthday, buying concert tickets, a gift, and cake, and then he springs it on the rest of the friends and expects them to contribute $62 each? Well, what is good communication is that Chandler should have sent out an email to all the friends on the front end to see how much they were able to contribute, while keeping in mind that Rachel, Phoebe, and Joey were probably in between jobs and strapped for cash like they were the entire season. Spouses, not good communication. Going behind your spouse's back and asking a friend for a loan, like Monica and Chandler did, without telling each other. They both asked to borrow money from Joey and wanted him to keep the secret. But what is good communication would be talking about your money issues openly with your spouse. You guys, money fights is one of the leading causes of divorce, so it is crucial for you to get on the same page with money. I wish I could have told Monica and Chandler that. But to avoid having miscommunication like this, make sure you download my 6 money conversations to have with your spouse. Just click the link in the show notes. Okay, I could talk about friends all day, but I won't. So now I want to talk about some relationships in my life, like my in-laws. Usually when you hear in-laws, it's just like, bah! You know, I have people in my life, that's how they feel. And I actually kind of feel the opposite. I love my in-laws. I think a big part of that is I was actually friends with Winston's sister before Winston and I ever dated. So I hung out with his parents before I was ever Winston's girlfriend and then wife. So I got to know them before that, which was awesome. And they're fabulous people. And I will say, during this time of the year, this is where a lot of people start to feel a lot of stress around being with extended family and in-laws. But I can say that when I look at my life, one of the things that I'm so grateful for that my in-laws have given us, it's really a gift, and my parents are really in the same boat, so I'm really thankful for this, is that when it comes to holiday seasons, there are no strings attached. Neither one of our parents feel this urge to say, oh, you have to be here on Christmas Day, or no, we have to do this at Thanksgiving. They work around schedules. They're not all hung up on what day is what during the holidays. And I can tell you, Winston and I, every year, we tell them, thank you so much for being relaxed. And so when I look at the holiday season, for me, I'm thankful I can say that. But I know that's not the case for all of you, because a lot of people, they have a ton of expectations put on them from other people. Maybe it's their in-laws, maybe it's extended family. And I'm no expert when it comes to boundaries. That's why we have Henry Cloud coming on next. But just remember, during the holiday season, it's okay to respectfully fight for what's best for you, your time, and your family during the holiday season, okay? It is not worth being exhausted and stressed out, it is worth figuring out what is best for you guys, you and your family, during the season. So I cannot wait for you to hear from my friend, Dr. Henry Cloud, when he talks all about boundaries, and he is brilliant. All right, Henry, thanks for being here.
Good to be here, Rachel.
Always fun to have you. You are just an expert when it comes to all things boundaries, and this is like what we need for this episode. So
let's do it.
I love it. Okay, so all of your years of being a psychologist, counselor, writer, all the things around relationships.
Yep.
When it comes to boundaries specifically, like what's the one relationship in their life that you see is probably the most common that people have to set a boundary for?
The most difficult one that you shouldn't think it would be difficult as an adult is with parents and in-laws. I hear that a lot because a lot of times, you're supposed to grow up as a kid and be under their managerial role, and you're supposed to grow up and then you go and you're in charge of your life. And sometimes some parents don't get that memo. Yeah.
So do you see that? Is it usually like the parents' fault, or is it usually the kid's fault that boundary hasn't been set? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it usually the parent overreaching, or is it the kid that's like wanting the parent to still help?
When it comes to fault, I always say, yeah, it's 100% your fault for your side of the equation. And it's 100% your parents' fault for their side of the equation. And that's the whole thing about boundaries, is all we can do is take control of our side of the relationship. It's like the old country and western song, how can I miss you if you never go away?
That's right.
And there's a lot of times too much fusion.
Too much there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The parent-child relationship, especially when the child becomes the adult, like navigating all of that and like when to step in, when not. Like it has to be, it is difficult. I mean, like, but knowing that that boundaries are good and that they're okay. But someone watching that says, oh, but like, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Like, I don't want to like put up a boundary and that be mean.
I don't want you to either. It's not mean to have control of your own life. Mean is when we step over a boundary and do something to someone else. But that doesn't mean that somebody's not going to interpret it as mean. And generally, if you have somebody that doesn't have freedom as a high value, because freedom, love and freedom are equal. Whenever freedom goes down, love goes down. And what you've got to do is you've got to reaffirm the love, and you go, look, I love you. I'm not trying to hurt you. And I understand that this is sad and hurtful for you. It's something I need to do for me. I hope you can accept that. And when they push back, remember this formula: set the limit and then empathize. So when they say, well, how could you say, Mom, I understand this is frustrating to you. I don't want it to be, but it's something I need to do for me. And then they come back and you go, I know it's painful. I get it. Maybe there's some other things I could give you. I can't give you this holiday, or I can't give you this time, or whatever. But you can't judge the rightness or wrongness of your actions only by the reaction that you get from other people. Because if you're living your life just to keep everybody happy, A, you'll never keep them happy, and B, you're going to be miserable.
So good. So when you look at like the biblical approach to boundaries, there's scriptures that says like no greater love than when to lay down your life for a friend.
Yeah.
Like those kind of things, like where does boundaries come into play when you look at scripture?
If you talk about the Bible's part of this, one of the passages I really love is when it's talking about giving in 2 Corinthians 9. It says, give, now think about this, not only money, but think of your time and your energy and your talents. It says, give as you have purposed in your heart. Okay, start there. What do I want to give to this relationship? Why am I doing this? What's the purpose of giving here? Give as you purpose in your heart. And then it says this, not begrudgingly, nor under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Now you take those two words, begrudgingly, that means you're putting pressure on me. I say, no, I can't do that. And so you finally kind of like push me into it, and I do it, but I'm holding a grudge. It doesn't feel good. And that's external pressure that causes us to lose our boundaries. The other part says, or under compulsion. So a compulsion is the internal pressure. It's the voice that compels you, says, you're selfish if you do this. You're bad if you do this. You ought to do this. And you don't have choice there either, because the inner voices have control of your life, right?
The inner critics.
Yeah.
They're loudly.
Yeah, and the other thing I would say about the purposeful giving is this, that the happiest people in life are givers. The happiest people in life are those that don't live just for themselves, but serve others.
What do you see with people when it comes to their money, their finances?
I'm going to charge you for this answer.
I know, that's fine. Bill me. You can bill me. What is a boundary that needs to be set when it comes to people and their money?
Well, it's twofold. It's intrapersonal, right? So the initial boundary has got to be getting control of yourself. Mm-hmm. And then you've got to notice your triggers. Because what happens is you make this decision, and then we all have weaknesses, right? Yep. And that's where we have to do some of the deeper work of finding out, why do I feel that way? Why am I driven to make everybody happy? And that internal work. And then there's the interpersonal side.
All right, so what is one boundary that people need to set during the holidays?
Oh, gosh, the holidays. You know what I would do? I'd sit down and I'd draw a pie, and I'd have 3 pieces in the pie. One of them is kind of the clinical arena. How do I want to feel at the end of the holidays? Okay? The other one is the relationship piece. Who do I want to make sure I see, and who do I need to avoid? And then the performance piece. What are my goals of this? How much am I going to spend? When am I going to get my shopping done and all of that? And if you plan it, then you can get it done. But if we just had to pick one, most holiday pain comes from relationships. And there are certain people and certain patterns, and set some clear boundaries there. And probably that's where most of the pain comes from.
Yeah. Henry?
Rachel? Keep doing what you're doing.
You keep doing what you're doing. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, God, the doctor, man. Dr. Henry Cloud, there's so much here. Awesome stuff. And obviously your book, Boundaries, you can pick it up anywhere books are sold. You've written multiple stuff. And then what was the thing that you were talking about?
Come find me on boundaries.me.
Perfect.
Boundaries.me.
Okay, make sure to check it out. Thanks again.
Good to be here.
Oh, Henry, gosh, is he just not amazing? Literally, I could just listen to him and his advice all day. He's just brilliant. All right, coming up next, I want to show you a couple who tackled their money issues together really well. And we're going to do something a little bit different to see how well their communication really is. So I've asked them a few questions to see if they are on the same page with their money. Family is one of the most important parts of my life, and making sure everyone is taken care of is a top priority. That includes more than just meal planning, entertaining the kids, and taking care of all the day-to-day needs. That's why I recommend having life insurance. Now, when you're shopping for it, you might wonder, should I get term life insurance or whole life insurance? I always recommend term insurance. It's going to save you tons of money that you can put towards paying off your debt and funding your emergency fund. For a 30-year-old male, a 20-year, $250,000 policy would cost just $15 a month for term life. However, the same policy for whole life would be $190 per month. That is a huge difference. Winston and I use Zander Insurance. They do all the work for you by finding you the best prices and options customized to your needs. To learn more, call Zander today or go to Zander.com. Because that's who we trust to take care of our family.
I felt stressed, just a mess all the time.
Just a lot of anxiety around the debt that we had and how to pay it off.
We certainly weren't on the same page. We were $23,000 in debt. When we got married, a couple gave us the book.
Total Money Makeover.
And it kind of just got set on a shelf. I had a credit card and started using it. Little did we know that debt is easy to come by.
It creeps up on you.
And then about 2 years ago, we looked back and found the book, and Joanna read it. And
started reading it. I met with a lady from our church, and she was like, you can do this. And I went home and I was all excited and I was like, Tim, guess what? we can get out of debt. Like, we can do this. And I want to read the Total Money Makeover book with you, and we should do this. And that was a rough night because he admitted to me that he had been spending money left and right on just lunch and breakfast every day for work.
Wherever it was easy to swipe a credit card, lo and behold, I work up a good $3,000 credit card bill, and she didn't really know about it. After just months of feeling bad about it, we finally came together.
And we started Financial Peace University. It's amazing what a difference my husband is and our relationship is, and how we view our finances together instead of totally separate.
Before we started on our debt-free journey, I had doubts and fears of me hiding the debt that I'd accumulated. I wanted to figure out how I could deal with it myself. Kind of pulled us apart, but it's brought us back together in repairing that. And
It's amazing how it's impacted our relationship, because it's really brought us together and shown me that he's in it, and he's in it not just for himself, but also for me, for us, you know, to have a better marriage and a better life.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. This is a fun episode because it's all about relationships, and one of the most important relationships in your life is your marriage. So how long have you guys been married?
been married just over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Okay, so fun. Okay, so I wanted to play a little game to see how well you know each other and your money as a couple. So the fun thing with this is I've asked each of you separate questions. You don't know what each other's questions are. You don't know what your answers are. So we're going to see how well you know each other, guys. All right, so Joanna, the first question is for you. Who is better at managing the finances?
Me.
You. Okay, Tim, what'd you say? Oh, Joanna. Okay, that's good. So you are more of the nerd.
Definitely.
Yes. So
Yes.
does it come natural to you? Like, do you love it?
I do. Yeah, I enjoy making the budget and doing all the things.
Yeah.
Tracking the expenses and
And every
income
dollar.
and-
Isn't
yes.
that kind of satisfying?
I love it.
It's so great.
I love it.
I know. I love doing it every day. It's kind of like
Yes.
one of those joys.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I get a little bubble that I get. I'm not even the nerd. I'm the free spirit. Tim, I'm more like you. Okay, Tim, your question is, what is the last purchase that was made over $100? It's gonna be a hard one.
Can I give him hints?
Yeah, give him hints. Help him out. Y'all are partners in life.
It happened just around the time we bought the house.
A weed eater?
Oh, yeah.
Did I give it
There
away?
you go. Hey, points for all of us. We're all winners here. So good. Was that a hard one to make, considering it was like
It
a
has been a
big
while.
purchase?
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So
Yes.
great. Awesome. Okay, Joanna, your question is, how much do you guys have budgeted for food each month?
$400.
Oh, you know each other so well. And your budget. I love it. All right, Tim, how much debt do you guys have right now, not including the house?
Just over 20,000.
Just over 20,000. Okay, Joanna. $20,300. That's amazing.
Can you tell we talk about our money a lot?
I love it. Hey, that's proving the game. I love it. Okay, Joanna, who is most likely to spend the food budget?
That would be me, because I do the grocery shopping.
So I chose myself.
Oh no,
because
why?
food is my Achilles heel.
Oh.
I like food.
We
That's
all love
okay.
food. Yeah,
We
it's
do.
good. Well,
Yeah.
you're winning in life.
If
right
I left
now.
him to manage it, it would be gone.
I love it.
You need it all.
Okay, Tim, last question is, when will you guys be completely out of debt?
It's a hard question.
If we sell
Because
our,
it moves, yes.
if we sell our car, it would only take about 18 months.
Okay, how does it ride? Okay, how'd you answer it?
I'm hopeful.
Oh, yes, you are, girl. Well, hey, that's closer to the 18-month route. Are you planning on selling the car? You
Yes.
want to sell? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you guys are in Financial Peace University right now. And I just want to know, like, before you guys started this process of working together to be on the same page with money, what was marriage like before? And then where is it today? The difference of working together.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
I was always worried about how can I make more money to kind of get us to the next month? Just
Yes.
how do we make it that next little
Yeah.
step further? Because bills are just always piled up and crazy and never really could figure it out.
Yes.
And now, I mean, now that we're on the same page and we talk about our money all the time. We actually, we do our budget together, which it was like pulling teeth before to get him to sit down and talk about money and the budget and our income.
Yes.
And now it's gone totally different.
So good. Yeah. So what's changed for you then, considering if it was like pulling teeth? I'm just curious from your perspective, like what's changed in you that you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm willing to talk about the income, talk about the money.
Being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
Just absolutely done with making financial mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is so hard. Okay, which leads us to our final question of the fun quiz / game show, whatever we want to call this thing. Okay, and you both wrote down answers for this because I asked you both this beforehand. What is the dumbest thing you guys have bought together? Which I think I'm gonna know. I have a feeling I know the answer to this question. Oh, that's so great, you guys. But I love that because what it proves is how much you guys are working together. While you're still different, right? I mean, like the free spirit to the nerd, one of you can still love the budget, not. But working together, how much that's changed just not only your money situation, but I'm assuming your marriage.
Yes.
So like what parts of your marriage, even though you guys haven't married like too long, but getting these healthy habits in place early on is a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like what was marriage like beforehand and then now?
Okay. Well, before we didn't have, we had ideas of what we wanted to do and sort of kind of goals, but now we have written goals and written plans and we know where we want to be 5 to 10 years from now. So it's totally different. We're on the same page and it's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it changes everything, right? Like when you're on the same page and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the progress you can make. So I think that that's so great. So couples sitting here watching this or listening to this, and they're thinking, okay, I don't talk to my husband about money, or I don't talk to my wife about money. What encouragement would you give them to do it, to have these hard conversations and to get this part of this relationship in their life in order where they're on the same page?
I would say not letting the fear of having debt hold you back from being honest with yourself or your spouse and just laying it all on the table and taking care of it together.
So good. So all the hard conversations, all the work to pay down debt, has it been worth it so far?
Yes.
Yes.
So great. That's awesome. Well, you guys are incredible. Seriously. I think it's so fun to have different couples in different stages of their marriages and getting you guys, like the fact that you're doing this so early on and you're truthful with each other, you're working together. I'm like, that's just like decades and decades of bad habits you're not going to have to break later on. I mean, seriously, it's huge.
Yes.
So I think that's so incredible. And we actually have a money and marriage event. It's an event all around this idea of money and marriage. It's on Valentine's Day. So I'm actually going to give you guys tickets to come to Nashville. Come to the event, hang out.
Thank you.
And if you guys want to come to the event, make sure to click the link in the description below. Get your tickets. You can hang out with Joanna and Tim while you're there too. But thank you guys so much for going on. Thanks for playing my fun game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode and got some really practical tips with dealing with the relationships in your life. Henry, just a wealth of knowledge. And Tim and Joanna, weren't they so great? They were definitely good sports about that game. And thank you guys so much for watching. And you can get anything that we talked about in this episode if you click the link in the description. And I've added something new, something really fun. I want to hear from you guys and actually answer the questions that you have specifically. So I set up a new voicemail. You can just call, leave your message, and I may answer your question on the show or the podcast. So call the number 844-944-1075 to ask your question. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel or my podcast, make sure you do that so you don't miss anything new coming out from The Rachel Cruze Show. And as always, make sure to take control of your money and create a life you love with the people you love.